Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Doing It Scared. So I have some exciting news. So I have had consignments which is for artists. Okay, so like an artist consignment place reach out to me, and I am going to start selling some of my art there. I just have a very small space, but the first thing I got to do is get some inventory together to put out there. So that's what we're going to be working on today. You might be able to see way back there, there's some mini canvases drying. So today I'm going to do, as you know, I love mixed media. So we're going to start with some mixed media. I've got 4 of these 2x2s that I went ahead and just prepped the back with black paint. Today, I'm mixing watercolor with these things. So show you, I made a sheet of watercolor petals. So like, here you go. Okay, doesn't look like much. As well as I've got another round flower here, and then some leaves, and again, some more different sizes pink petals. So my goal today is we're going to utilize these to make a flower, but it is going to be mixed media. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is I want to put more color on the background just to kind of give it a little pizzazz. And again, if you're watching, please leave me a comment in the discussion. I'd love to hear from you. Right now, I can see that I have Nancy and Kimberly watching. You guys, thank you so much. You don't know how much that means to me. Now, when I turn the camera, I won't be able to see these pop-ups. So again, anybody coming in, just go ahead and understand we're going to be doing this project. Again, part of Doing It Scared is doing something for the first time and sharing it with you. So I have not done this type of mixed medium. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and we are going to get started. Let me get it positioned right. Let's see. Okay, that looks good. So as you can see, I have 4 of these. I think they're 2x2 canvases. We're going to make 4 different ones, but they're gonna be in the same style, in the same genre. So when you're doing something like this, I found something that I really like, and I have to kind of speed up the process. So that's why I'm not just doing one. I'm going to be doing a collection of 4. I started another 4 that are back there drying, and then I've got a whole bag. I should say bag of some more that I traced like this last night. These are going to, we'll see what happens, but I have a lot of these that I've traced, and we're going to go ahead and probably paint those in. But anyway, so sometimes the ideas will start coming super fast, right? And then other days there are absolutely no ideas at all. So let's go ahead with this background. So I really want to get some sharp edges on this background. So I've just got some teal. And this is what I mean. I want the brush strokes to show through. A little bit more. This is peacock teal that I'm using. Again, I may not share the names of all the colors, but because if you don't have that color available at your local store, right, it's not going to help you out much. And notice I'm making broad strokes, not worried about not being solid. That's part of what I want to go for here. And again, a lot of this you won't even see once I put the petals on, but I can't go back and do this fun stuff once I've glued them on there. Right, what am I going to do now? Let's do a little pink. Get my brush better. I have to always remember what color I'm working with too, because you don't want to put something that's going to be totally scream at you. So I want to do a light pink. All right, and you can see my brush is separating in the center. That's okay. I kind of like the look that it's giving. So now let me do, let's see. I'm going to do a little bit in this pink. And though I'm doing like the same thing, they're all going to come out completely different. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about mixed media. Again, my brush is starting to separate. That's okay. Where was I? Oh. Now, while I'm doing these, I probably won't do the outsides. In other words, I went ahead, I might put another layer of black just to solidify it. But at this time, I don't think I'm going to worry about taking this paint and adding it to the sides. And let's do, as you all know, my favorite color, Midnight Blue. And I just love the way Midnight mixes sometimes with these other colors. Okay. And I'm liking this. I'm still not totally sure. Let's go ahead and make sure I don't have any holes in there. Okay, so I've done that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with some gold leaf. I'm going to put a few spots on here. And I keep mine, this is an old sheet. I have, it comes in sheets. And I just had to order new sheets because this is all I have. I'll be using some tweezers. And really, there is not any, as you can see here, rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this. They will stick right into the paint. And that's pretty much, I just want this extra touch here and there. And so, oh, I don't want that mark there. As you can tell, gold leaf is very sensitive. It tears easily. And I kind of like that because I like the look that it gives. Let's see, we got spots down here. So yeah, I gave up my tweezers. They're not doing all that great. Okay, well, let's see if I can. Now, the gold leaf is going to dry into the paint, and anything that is not dried into paint will, when I go through, will just flake off. Let's see. I'm getting bigger sheets because I got down there further. I want you to notice right here, when I put this on here, I pressed hard and I actually created a little rip in the gold leaf. I'm okay with that. If when you're working, you want it to not have any bleed through color, then what I would probably do is wait for it to dry and put another piece on top if that happens. And that's what's going to happen with some of these, because some of this paint is dry already and some of it's not. But that is really kind of the look I'm going for. I just want it to look old and like it's been around for a while, so it's flaking off. And a lot of that I won't see till after this dries because I'm not going to do the brush off on any of it till it completely dries. Otherwise, I get a lot of brokenness and it can start to look like just a big mess. There we go. That one's going over too. Let's do something right here. And so far, I think we're good with this. So before I do any more mushing on it, I want it to dry a little bit. But to make sure that I've got it good, I'm going to take just this little paintbrush and I'm just going to tap. And you can see where this is loose, that's not going to stick, right? And that's okay. That's part of the process here. I want just some of it there, just giving that hint, but I'm gently pressing so that it grabs any of the wet paint. Now, you don't have to do this right on paint. You can use Elmer's glue, Mod Podge, that kind of thing. I just like to let the paint do the work. Let's see if I give you a little bit better view. So if you like this kind of art, this mixed medium art, on March 3rd, which is a week from yesterday, I'll be at Kickin' Wings, and we will be doing a mixed media with gold foil and flowers, and of course wherever your creativity decides to take you. But it is a lot of fun. Okay, I'm not going to work on any of that anymore. This I am going to pick up. There we go. Now, if I wanted this to stick, I would put a little bit of glue under there, but this is going to eventually just flake off, and that's fine. All right, so we got that. Now I'm going to take a look, and I do like the purple. I'm not so sure about the bright turquoise, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to overbrush. In other words, I'm going to go ahead and add some of that purple color, the dark purple, Poetic Plum, into the edges, just because my flowers are really a dark purple, or what's going to be my flowers, so to speak. And so I'm really going to be focusing on more the outside edge, because the center and wherever I place is going to end up being covered with petals. And I'm doing this again just because I kind of want to darken it a little bit. There, I got another piece, see? And now let's do a little bit of just barely grazing the canvas. Sometimes I start these, I never really know where I'm going to go with it. I just kind of eyeball it. So far, I'm loving the color combinations. Now, I've just put some more paint down, and that means it's wet. I'm going to get my gold foil, and I'm just going to add some touches of gold foil here and there into the wet areas. And again, not all of it's going to stick. It's only going to stick where the paint is wet. So you can remember, just FYI, this video will be available for 30 days on my Facebook page, after which that time you can go to my website, www.passport-creative.com, or my YouTube channel, which I think is just my name. I can't remember at this time, to see these. So, and other things that I might be doing. I'll be posting a lot of pictures in the next couple of days of new artwork that I'm adding, just because I'm really excited about it. And I have to get inventory up for my consignment space or my retail space. So I'm just gonna, again, just tap lightly So now I'm going to start plotting my petals. What I'm going to, where they're going to go, how they're going to sit. Now, for gluing on the petals, you can use a Mod Podge, but this time I got this Elmer's glue. This, look and notice, this is not school glue. It's a multi-purpose glue for household repairs, crafts, and projects. It's an extra strong formula, so I decided this is easier to work with than pouring out Mod Podge. So I'm gonna gently put the petals around onto these to make to get an idea of how many I need and what I want there, where. And see, like that one. Okay, I think 3 is enough here. So there are various, I put that backwards. There are various sizes. There's no rhyme or reason. I just did this sheet playing with the watercolors, layering the purples and all of that fun stuff. And then decided, because I had considered it practice, well, seems to be going pretty good. And I'm doing these backwards, right? No? Okay. I don't think it necessarily matters a lot. And yeah, I think I'm going to do these all purple. I've got others, the colors that I showed you, but I'm going to start with these being just, this 4 is going to be these purple because that's what I have a lot of right now. And I'm, again, making sure I have, gosh, I keep putting these backwards. Skinny tip towards the center. Lori. And this one, let's see. Decided I'm going to put another one right there. Let's move this. This is what I'm going to do. We'll get to that. Again, this is just a rough placement. Here is one of my petals. You can see this was where the straight edge of the paper was. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, but you won't see that because as I move around and add petals, right, it's going to cover that spot up. And here. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. Now, what I'll also do is I'll be putting something in the center to make it look like a bud. So you're going to just kind of work with all of this. I also have some greenery I can add into these, which I probably will. I have both small and large here. I don't know, my initial thought was I'm going to add quotes. That's going to end up being the end, but I've got these. These are stickers that I put on watercolor paper. And so like they would be added on, and then I'll probably do some finish on those. Again, it's 20 after. We might get one of these done before the end of the hour, but if we don't, I'll of course post the finished product. So let's start up here. And remember, my glue is going to dry clear. And I'm just going to do a big swirly that. I am not planning on these being covered. I'm going to do a seal, but I'm not necessarily going to be doing a like a whole Mod Podge sealer on top. Let's put a little bit right here because these are going to go together. Okay, I'll tuck in some glue, but right now I want the center to be nice and firm. And if I had a little rock or something with some weight, I would put it right there. But we're gonna just have to be able to utilize that. So let's do the next ones. Again, wanting to make sure my center is nice and strong. This is when I have a straight edge. And this is kind of a straight edge, so. I hope y'all are enjoying this cold day here in Florida. Yes, my friends in Nashville, today's low was in the 30s. We have a cold snap coming, which is probably you've already experienced. That's what usually happens if we get cold. It goes to you guys and comes on down. Because of my migraines and my lack of, well, for a better word, to keep my pain away, I have not left the house since Sunday. That's what I have to do. The minute I go outside and it's all that cold air, it can be a huge trigger for me and my migraines. Okay, liking how this is coming out. Okay, so the first two started. Let me see. Usually I have. Just realized that I don't have my, what do you call it? I usually have this screen up when I'm doing these on my computer so I can watch myself. So I'm going to go do that real quick. Sorry, guys. It helps me. Yeah. That way I can just eat. Thank you for your patience. Okay. All right, let's go. And you can see some of these are going off the edge, and I'm okay with that. Sorry, there's not much background music going on, but if I'm playing my radio, I can't, or my radio, music, Pandora, I'm sorry, not Pandora, YouTube will a lot of times not allow me to post because, you know, it's copyrighted. It's okay. So that's why I just do it quiet. This is so fun for me, y'all. I love doing this. And it's amazing that I can actually now do it as a job. So not replace my full-time income as of yet. I should have put the flat one down first, but that's okay. But hopefully, as I start doing more markets and vendor spots and such, classes, my business will grow. So, and again, with the art space, I can't believe that I'm actually going to be trying to sell my art. Never thought that my art would amount to anything. All right. So we've got the petals. I am going to go through and just put some pieces of glue to get some of these edges. I don't mind it sticking up some, but I also don't want it to be so weak that, you know, one little brush against something and the petals are going to be flying off. So you can see they're kind of like, so I did not necessarily get that straight edge, but guess what? That's the beauty of doing mixed medium art. I'm going to put something over it to hide that edge, probably a leaf or two maybe. And then again, like I said, I got to figure out how I'm going to do the centers. I'm thinking the centers, I'll do a pile of glue and then add some, do the centers in like a chunky glitter. Let's get that edge down. You could try to use school glue with this, but with this watercolor paper, I don't know how well it would do. That's why I've got this multi-service. And I have Mod Podge, but this is just easier to deal with many times. Again, it's still going to dry clear. Oops, didn't mean to do all that. I'm doing back here. Okay, so I got that. I'm now going to use this little brush I did before. I'm going to start to brush off the unneeded gold foil. So anything that's loose will get rubbed off eventually. So I'm just doing that ahead of time. And it's best to use a soft brush. Otherwise, you damage what you've done. So you can see how much of that has come off, and I'm okay with that because it's this look right here with the jagged edges that I really enjoy about the gold foil. And you can see it's leaving pieces out through there, and that's okay. I'm okay with that too, because that's just the nature of it. Okay, that one doesn't have a whole lot there. Let's see. There we go. I just added a little bit of paint right there. Now I'm going to switch brushes because this brush now has wet paint on it. I don't want any paint because it will transfer that color and muddy up the gold. Going to add a little bit more of these little dots of paint where some of it's coming up because I don't want to lose the gold there. And the thing with foil, gold foil, you got to be patient, and that's really what usually challenges me. I don't get a good finish because I start going too far with everything, which is why, again, I don't do beautiful portraits and such because I don't have the patience. Just not my thing. Okay. So you might be saying you're losing a lot of that foil. Yes, I am. But again, I think it's okay. It's part of the look that I want. I want it to be just hints there, here and there, and like it's, what do you call it? Made its way out of been flaking off. It's vintage piece. I don't know what I'm saying, y'all. Just ignore me. And this right here, it's not coming up. That's okay. Again, just there's lots of different ways to do these things. So right there, this is going to get muddy looking when it dries. But guess what? I'm gonna put a little leaf there instead. In fact, I'm gonna do a, no, that's a little too big. Yeah, let's do, just like that. And let's do a little bit, another one. There we go. All right, so I'm going to start placing some of these leaves. I don't have nearly as many leaves as I do petals, so I'm going to do this by basically going around in a circle. Here's one. There's already glue there, so I'm just going to tuck it in. Let's get one tucked in here. And so I am adding glue to these as I'm putting them in there, even though there's glue there. Again, it can't hurt. There. Okay, I've already got 2 on that. So I'm going to go around and do a few more leaves here and there. No, I don't like that. Okay, smoosh it over there. Better. Okay, it looks like I have enough to put a 3rd leaf on all of these. So I will do that. It's got 2. This is, oh, here it is. And let's do some more. Wow, usually time flies. So it's 11:34, and usually do I want to do this here? Yeah, I want to do that there. Usually I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so far away, I'm not going to get it all done. And we might not, but this is going faster than I anticipated, which is good, right? All right, let's... Don't know if I like that placement so much, but it's done. And I've got 2 more littles. I'm going to do that on this here. Okay, we're going to sneak this one. Okay, so I've got that. Now I'm looking at this center, right? I want to do a center, a bud, and I'm trying to decide exactly how I'm going to do this. So typically I am thinking of doing a glitter center. The problem with that is that it makes a big mess. So you guys are going to have to be patient with me. I'm going to do them one at a time. And again, once I put the glitter there, I have to let it glue so there won't be anything going on top unless I get anxious, which, you know, I do. So, cool. All right. Let me I'm not going to do... So I'm trying to decide the color. I like this gold. I think that might be one of them. This is like a deep midnight blue. I do like that. I don't want them all to be the same. Some can be the same, but I don't want all of them to be the same. Because these are, as you can tell, these are just little ones. I buy a variety pack. Oh, the purple. Let's do the purple there. And let me see, did I have anything else? Oops. Okay. And I don't really want to do silver. So I've got another different purple, so I'm going to use that on this one. So what I'm going to do is just create like a button of glue. So the glue is deciding where my center is. Notice it's standing up. It will flatten out. And then I'm going to just cover that. And again, the glue will dry clear. So after this dries, I can just pop the glitter, the excess glitter off, and then we're going to be ready for our little quotes. And I may be able to do the quotes while this is drying. We'll see. I don't think I have anything that I want to go directly over the center of the petal. All right, now we're doing this dark purple center. Let it seal itself in. There's the lighter purple, and then we have this dark, dark blue. If you all know, I mean, I love the deep, dark blues. I love darker, moody colors. So, no surprise, right? There's just a little bit of this one left, so I can... I still got a tiny bit. All right, so now we're going to let those start to dry. And I'm going to move on to determining what my quotes are going to be. Now, I don't do lettering. I'm horrible at trying to paint lettering or do any, even with like a calligraphy brush or anything. So I'm going to figure out, I've got, like I said, I put a bunch of these quote stickers that I have on the watercolor paper, and they're going to be placed on here. I will be doing some things to kind of roughen up the edges, but right now I need to figure out my quotes. So I like this one. That's going to go on there. If you, at first you succeed, try to hide your astonishment. The dream is now reality. Let's see. Joy life. And let's do dreams come true. Okay. So this is not necessarily where I'm going to place them, but these are the quotes I'm going to use for these. Again, I'm going to glue them on. First, though, I'm going to add a little paint here and there, because I don't want it to like totally stand out to where it, you know, I don't know how to explain it. The solid white. Or maybe I do. Let me see something. I'm going to go ahead and do the edges of another one and see how I like that. So this is one that I'm going to, Life is a Song, Love is the Music. I have a heart collection I'm going to be doing. So I'm just adding some dots and such to see if, yeah, it kind of frames it. And I think that is what I want to do. So yeah, I'm going to do, I'm not necessarily in this pink color, but we are going to create some color on the frames. So on this one, let's do a little purple, some blue. So I went straight with the blue. I keep realizing I'm not putting this on camera, it's in my lap. Doesn't help y'all at all. I also have some vintage white here. And a little bit here. And I may not, I'll be honest with you, like this as much as I thought I would. So don't be surprised if I don't do the rest of them. We're going to put this on and I'm going to see what it looks like on there. Okay, let's see. All right. I'm going to put it right there. Putting some glue on the back. I don't know, y'all. I don't know if I should leave them framed or unframed. I think I'm going to go ahead and just glue them down, and then if I'm going to, I'll make up my mind about adding the color a little bit later. Okay, I like Enjoy Life up here at the top, so I'm just going to glue that on there. 15 minutes. And I'm gonna kind of, no, I'm just gonna go for it. So I'd like to say, see how much we've done in an hour. But as you notice, remember all the prep I did before. So this is taking an hour to construct it once I have all of the watercolor petals done and such. So yeah, not long, but you got to look at all the prep time to get all the components available. Do this one here. So I've got my quotes, and now I want to do some finishing touches. Let's see. I don't know, I think they look pretty good. I think I'm going to add just some white dots to add some accents. Got to find my dotting tool that I love the most, and I never put it back in the same place. So here's the one. I'm going to do just these little, I'm going to use the vintage white. And just add, it looks like kind of like glue. And then going going to do some of the pink. Okay, pink, not so much. It's okay. Yeah, I think it does give it some oomph. Let's do a light pink back here. And so I'm just utilizing the colors I already have on my palette. And obviously, you know, I'm going to be mixing them up. So not, you can see where every one of these is going to come out as what one would call, you know, custom, because it's no two are ever going to be alike unless I were to do a high resolution scan and sell posters, right? And let's just do a little there. Yeah. See, okay, we have 10 minutes. So I'm going to try to do these dots, and then I'm going to go ahead and pour off the glitter, and we'll see what we have. If I have to put more on there, I will. So I'm just randomly adding dots here and there. Yeah, I can put it on the sticker thing. Let's do that when I framed. I don't like them framed as much, I don't think. All right, and we're getting there. If you've been with me before, you know it's always a balancing act to stop, know when to stop and when it's going to be too much. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm not exactly sure about adding anything else, like other stickers or something. I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay. So I've got all of that. And so let me see. Let's see. I have this little plastic thing. This is what I dump my glitter off on. So I'm going to move this to the side. I'm going to dump that glitter. And we're going to see what our final project's going to look like. Because we have 10 minutes, which means we may get out of here a little early. Make it sound like a class you don't want to be in, don't I? All right. First one. If at first you succeed, hide your astonishment. And, oh, yes, look at that. I'm going to go ahead and, while I'm doing these, I'm going to use my soft brush and go ahead and get any excess foil off. And I love how the glitter spread through there, so we're going to leave it. Now, chances are what I will do is I do have a sealer, a spray sealer, and everything will get sprayed so that the what do you call it? Glitter and stuff that's just loose right now There we go, doesn't come up. So as you can see here, I've just wiped off everything that wasn't sticking. And so that helps me to determine if I want to do anything more, add a little bit more, but I want to, these should be dry. Oops, there was some wet paint there. There we go. Okay, so there's that one. I do like that gold center. I do not like the frame thing there, so I'm not going to be doing that anymore. Here's with the purple. And I'm trying to be careful not to touch my brush in any of the wet dots that I just did. Last one. Almost there. Okay. That is it, you guys. I will post this picture. I don't think I'm going to add anything, but yeah, I think these are done. So I'm going to turn the camera back around, come back to you. All right, it is 11:53. We finished 7 minutes early, so I hope that y'all had fun. I hope this inspires you. If you want to look at the completed pieces, I'm going to be showing or selling my work through Artisan Haven, and that's in downtown Brooksville. I am going to be looking for more retail options, so I'll let you know as those come along. But otherwise, have a great day. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you again next week doing It Scared.